at the breakfast this morning. And Mayo said this, Mayo said that. And obviously, anytime a tweet comes across the timeline, you look at it and you want to put emphasis on it. Here's what he said about Drake Maye. Mark Daniels' observation, Mark Daniels of Mass Live, his observation on it was, well, this sounded like there was something behind it with Drake Maye. Okay, maybe there was, maybe there wasn't. I don't feel the way Mark Daniels does. I think Mayo was blowing a lot of smoke this morning, and uses more words than he needs to. So on the one hand, he says this kid's got a really high ceiling, could really, but there's a lot of time to develop still, suggesting that he's the kind of kid that would need to sit. I don't know. But whatever, that's fine. You listen to that comment and you say, some people want to say, okay, that they're like Maye. First of all, he's not going to say anything negative about any of these guys. And then secondly, he was also asked about the prospect of trading out, which is Mayo number 10, Jimmy. So here's what Mayo said at the prospect of trading out from number 3.
Once again, if we take a quarterback at 3, that means we are convicted that this player is really the future of this organization. And going back to your point that we kind of said earlier, there are multiple pieces on this team as a whole that we want to fill those holes. And so if you can gather more picks, that definitely helps you out. Like, put more chips on the table. Probably shouldn't have did a gambling reference right there. But the more picks that you really have, the more likelihood you have to really hit them.
So what do you take from that, Murray? Is there anything to discern from there one way or the other?
No, I just think he's giving you too much. I mean, if you want to talk up Drake Maye, just leave it at that and use it as gamesmanship. Even if you don't believe in his ability and you don't have interest in him, you can pump him up a little bit to maybe get a better offer from another team. Because on the one hand, you're pumping up this kid, and on the other, you're also saying and doubling down again, because he said this yesterday, we're open to trading the pick. So it's too much. And even with the quip with the gambling there, too, it's just I get it. Like, he's new to this position, and it's almost like a young politician being in front of the media early on in their career. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to say too much. You're going to fumble around. You're maybe going to try to buddy up to them too much. I think that's what's going on. I'm willing to give him a pass right now, and most people should. It's not going to be perfect for a guy that's a first-time head coach, but you can you can see that he is kind of out of his depth a little bit, I think.
Paul?
So there's some things with Maye that I did find interesting, and him talking about the ceiling. He does have a high. I happen to agree with that. I don't necessarily think he was just blowing smoke there.
So you like Maye?
I do like. I
remember you saying
I've been telling you guys that that for a while. Now I'm not going to be heartbroken if they. I think that the phrase that he uses that resonates with me always when you're talking about these teams taking quarterbacks is, if we take one, we're going to be convicted that that's the guy. We're going to have conviction. This is the guy who's going to be our franchise. And I think that's when you get in trouble as a team, is if you don't really believe in the guy, but you say, we just have to take a quarterback. We think he could play, but we're not really sure. That's when you make a trade and add chips and get as many good players as you are sure about. I think that if they take a quarterback, it's going to be a sign that they feel pretty confident in it. But what I didn't get was,
do you think they're going to take one?
I do. I've thought that way.
Would
all
you
along.
take one?
I would. I would take Maye if he's available. I didn't understand that he hasn't played as much as the other guys. I didn't really. Now, if you're talking about Jaden Daniels, that's 5 years of playing. Michael Penix, I think, has 6 years of playing. Those guys have played a lot. Caleb Williams, Drake Maye, J.J. McCarthy, these guys were basically 2+ years in college. I think Caleb Williams has thrown about 50 or 60 more passes in college as Drake Maye. Like, these guys have played a lot. They've thrown about 1,000 passes. And with McCarthy, a lot less than that.
Well, Maye's a little younger, right? I mean, a lot younger in some cases.
But he's played. Like, he was a full-time 2-year starter. That's not nothing. Again, Jaden Daniels had 3 years at Arizona State, couple years at LSU. That's more, he's obviously played more. So maybe you're right. Maybe he's telling you, if we do want one of these guys, or if we take a guy like Maye, we're willing to be patient with him and not have him start right away. And I'm fine with that if that's the road they chose to go down. But I didn't really understand the whole he hasn't played as much as everybody else.
Okay, look, if that's the message, I'm okay with that part of it. They shouldn't be playing this kid, whoever he is, when he comes in. They shouldn't, because they're going to get him killed and they're going to screw him up. Because to me, it feels like I have just zero confidence right now in the Patriots. Zero. As much as as much as I was getting sick of Belichick, I at least had confidence that for the most part, Bill's got a clue. He's been through it. Tony and Stoneham. Tony, what do you got?
How you doing? Hey, let me know. Are you going to have your baseball show this year?
Yes. Yeah. In fact,
Good.
Tony, I'll have more information on it in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Here's what we got to realize. The Patriots who do not know what the hell they're doing. How do you take a defensive guy and make him your head coach when all your problems are on offense?
Well, so Tony, I'm going to let you go because I want to squeeze in this call quickly as well. Mike and Holden. Mike, go ahead.
Tony, please clarify your position, because a moment ago you said you thought Jerod Mayo was blowing smoke, but moments before that you said, I don't even think the guy's going to make it past 3 years based on his breakfast press conference this morning. You haven't given him, Alex Van Pelt, Elliott Wolf, they haven't even played a game. They haven't had a draft, and you're writing them all off already. So which is it, Tony? Is Jerod Mayo blowing smoke, or is he going to be a failure?
Well, why can't both be true? I mean, I don't understand why both can't be true.
I don't think he knows what blowing smoke means.
Yeah, seriously, I don't understand the question.
Because I think
feel
your
like
line is very consistent.
That's what I think.
He's not really giving you any honest opinions, and you don't think as a result he's going to last.
I feel like the guy was just flapping his gums this morning, talking in circles. So on the one hand, we like Drake May, we like the upside. There's a high ceiling. On the other hand, if we're not convicted, we're trading out. And I just, in this particular case, I'd rather have the Belichick model. With the number 3 pick, someone who doesn't tip his hands and says, well, we got a lot of work to do. We'll figure out when we get there.
Yeah, okay.
We'll let you know on draft night. You'll have a better idea then. Because anything I say, you're going to read into. So now they haven't been in this kind of spot. Bill would be snotty with the media on basic things that, just harmless stuff he wouldn't even answer. So I suppose Mayo in some ways, I'll get the caller, if the caller was trying to make this point, then I'll give it to him. In some ways, Mayo didn't tip his hand one way or the other. I suppose that's good. But I just felt like it was a bag of words, a word salad.
Yeah, I think that's why I wasn't as troubled by it as you two are, because I don't think he tipped his hand by basically covering all bases.